The Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano event is now officially live in-game, and we had the absolute pleasure of going through and unlocking her straight to Relic 9 with that ultimate day 1. So I've put together a little video here to show you what you can expect to see at every single tier and how best to get it done. Let's do this. The GL Ahsoka Tano event consists of 6 individual tiers that you'll have to do between 4 and 3 times a piece, apart from the ultimate tier, which you need to do 10 times. Jumping in at the very first tier then, we are going to be using a trio of Ahsoka Tano snips, Rex, and Commander Ahsoka Tano. Now, if you have these at the relic levels required, you don't have to worry about modding, obviously. I've gone in with pretty garbage mods all around. I guess my Rex is relatively fast at 316, but even that is nothing special. And Commander Ahsoka Tano, I do have her very fast because she's modded for GAC and Territory War. Let's check out the event. So coming in hot, we actually have a training simulation that Ahsoka goes through in Clone Wars. I think it's really nice to see this different view of perspective. I don't think we've ever had a combat mission where we are surrounded by the enemy, but genuinely speaking, none of these tiers are particularly difficult. The one thing that frustrates me about this event is that there is no auto button. And I tell you, if you're doing it all in one go like we did on yesterday's stream, taking us about 2 hours to get through it all, it does take a significant amount of time to get through all of these tiers, guys, because they're long battles. They are long battles, and there is no auto button. They're not particularly difficult, though, I will say that. So you just blitz through tier 1, no problem, as Snips over here going through her training program, and then we have some nice little homage coming through in round 2. Wave 2 consists of the same, realistically speaking, but it jumps forward into Clone Wars Season 7, where Ahsoka now has to face off against the 501st clone. It is a bittersweet moment. So you get to use your Rex here. We're going to use the form up. We're just going to go ahead and systematically eliminate these clones one at a time over here. Again, they're using that same sort of encased view here to have the battle done, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's for a first tier event, it really isn't so bad. Nice bit of homage. It's nothing special, I would say, in this first opening battle, but it's certainly nothing too terrible. So you just form up throughout this. You can yeet out a character with Cat's Yeet, no problem. And then we'll just go through and defeat this last 501st ally. Now this one, I believe you have to do this tier 4 times in total, and I believe it is 15 tickets per tier. So you're going to be using, 60 tickets in order to get this event done, at least this tier. Now, you don't need to do them all in one go. You can actually do these as you progress. So if you do tier 1, you can go to tier 2 and come back to tier 1 later. I do recommend doing that just to break up the monotony a little bit. So going into phase 2 then, we are using Snips once again, but we are also using Barriss Offee and Bounty Hunter Asajj. I think this is actually a really cool tier. Again, I would say you do not need any special modding. This is the only one where I ever lost a unit. I actually failed to do this once because I wasn't paying attention, but essentially you just want to focus down on the Genosians. Use Barriss's heal at all times just to give your character's defense up, but if you have got any sort of decent mods on your Snips, you're probably going to be fine. It's just I'm using pretty terrible modding. Now just make sure you ignore Kalani, because all he's going to do is take 1001 1100 turns, and he's constantly going to be passing offense up to the entire team. It's your job to take these Geos out before they do too much damage to you, and make sure that you're constantly dispelling that offense up that they're getting. If they don't have the offense up, they do far less damage, which is exactly what we want. And it shouldn't be too bad overall. As long as you, like I say, you just leave Kalani to last, focus on the Geonosians one at a time, take them out, lickety-split, and then deal with Kalani at the end. So this is this is why, again, it would be nice if we had a full auto button. We could just focus on one Geonosian soldier at a time and just hit that full auto button. But unfortunately, that Kalani does tend to take about 2 turns for every one of yours. You'll see he just stands over there flipping you off and gaining offense up. Once it's down to him, he really can't actually do anything to you. He's got no actual attacks. So yeah, just have fun with it. You can use your special with Snips to try and actually deal some more damage and take him out quicker, but I like to try and make sure that those attacks are on cooldown, or off cooldown rather, for the next phase. So next phase then, we are using Asajj in her Bounty Hunter getup, and we are using Snips. Pretty cool, again. Oh, it's a little bit unfortunate when you miss your attacks like that, but it does seem to happen at an alarming rate, I've found, in this particular event. Either the enemy has got lots of evasion, or maybe we're just being incredibly unlucky, but it seems to happen quite a lot. You shouldn't have to worry too much about about the enemy defeating you in this wave. It shouldn't be too difficult. Asajj's AoE, use that when it's off cooldown, and I would say just ignore the heal. The heal can't heal up snips, so don't worry about it. Doesn't matter if your Asajj here is defeated or not. Again, you want to try and keep those cooldowns available for you. Going into the final wave, and now you get to fight Asajj Ventress? This one's pretty cool. I've actually lost in this tier before because I'd sustained too much damage in the previous phases and lost. So you just want to spam specials when you can and basic when you can't. It is kind of funny if you let Asajj beat you. She does like run off into the distance and then run back. It looks really funny. But yeah, pretty cool overall. Not the greatest tier. The greatest tiers are still to come, but still relatively easy. And I don't think you have to worry about spending ages failing missions and stuff like that. Back to the order you may come, says Grandmaster Yoda. They're asking for you back, Ahsoka. I'm asking for you back. General Skywalker. And Snip says, nah, sorry, bruv. Moving on. And then we get a nice little cinematic here of her leaving the Jedi Order. A pivotal moment in her path. Tier 3 then, we have to go in with just Commander Ahsoka Tano, and it is the battle on Mandalore against Maul. This is actually really cool. I find Maul is really weird here. Sometimes he uses all of his stacks of Seething Rage, and sometimes he doesn't. I don't know what triggers it, but generally speaking, if you've built up enough health or protection and, enough offense, you should be able to chew through Maul before he just unleashes everything on you. This time it looks like he's used most of it. He used 4 stacks. I don't know why he doesn't go all in, but generally speaking, you're not going to have any issues with this one. Mod for offense, mod for speed, mod for health, that sort of thing. All right, then. Tier 4, we're using Commander Ahsoka... we're using Fulcrum and Ezra Bridger, Exile. This one is actually really cool. We get a sick intro of Darth Vader coming down on his TIE Advanced X1. Looking badass, I gotta be honest. First phase over here, we are fighting off against Darth Vader with Ezra, and it's just a case of go all in. It's semi-scripted, this opener. It's semi-scripted. Basically, Vader will go after Ezra pretty heavily here, and it gets to a certain point where he'll just defeat Ezra. So you'll go for that, and you'll just take a bonus turn and defeat Ezra, and that triggers the second part of this combat. The Emperor will show you mercy if you tell me where the remaining Jedi can be found. Nope. Moving on to the next phase, and this is a mano-a-mano Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum against Vader, just like in Season 7 of... No, it's actually in Rebels, apologies. So, again, there's nothing too much to do. Use your first special followed by the second special when you can. And, like, when you're getting down past half health, you get a cool-ass animation, booyah! And you get to break off his helmet and see the face and the Sith eyes underneath. Top dog for Christmas coming out as CG there. Really good effort. Love that. But again, not particularly difficult. I've never lost that tier. It just kind of goes. Funny thing is, it's impossible to 3-star this tier because you always lose Ezra. So, funny that. Moving on to tier 5 then, and this is a 2-timed event where we are actually going to be using GL Ahsoka Tano. Now, you don't have to have her unlocked at this point. What I'd recommend is you go ahead, use these specials, just spam them up against Baylan Skoll. He has got tons and tons of stacks of Soldier of Fortune, but it really doesn't matter, although he did evade. I told you, like, there's something with this tier of the event. There's just like, well, with this event in general, there's just so much evasion, naturally. Look at all these dodges. I don't quite understand it, but you shouldn't actually struggle too much with this one. It's cool, we're here, this is the first fight where you actually fail against Baylan in the Ahsoka series, #spoilers, and we just keep on missing him for some reason, I don't know why. But after a while, booyah, nice little animation here of Baylan just yeeting you off a cliff, and you get to fall down into the world between worlds, into the second part of this particular tier, where we get to face off against General Skywalker in the world between worlds. Such a cool scene. I won't fight you. I've heard that before. Yep, brilliant. Well, actually, this is Jedi Knight Anakin, apologies. Again, the actual battle, not too difficult. I do recommend you just go in, go ham, have fun, and enjoy the scenery. They've done a good job here with the setup. I was only a little disappointed that CG did not implement some form of Jedi Knight Anakin switching into Darth Vader halfway through the battle, just like what happens inside of the Ahsoka show. That, I think, is a missed opportunity, but still Really good homage there, really good setup, so hats off to CG for that one. And the ultimate tier, so tier 6 is where we earn the ultimate mats. We're going in with GL Ahsoka Tano. They give you Ezra Bridger Exile, and you have to use your own Padawan Sabine Wren. So again, you do not need any specific modding. I do recommend whenever you go in on these tiers that you use relicked up characters. Okay, just go in, relic your Ahsoka Tano before going any further. Alright, so we're going to start off by going into stance. This isn't actually the full version of her kit, but it's close enough. You want to use that reunite ability on Ezra to get rid of his exile, and then just start going ham. Doesn't really matter who you focus down first. I like to go after Death Trooper Peridia because his face is ugly, and he's missing half of his mask. He's trying to be some sort of Darth Vader wannabe. I don't know. I don't make the rules. They'll do lots and lots of attacks, and you'll just have a jolly good time. Come on then. Let's be having you. Let's be having you. I like to pass the turn right back over to Ahsoka. It does do a cleanse over there on Padawan Sabine. I nearly called her Snips then. And we can just clear out that Death Trooper Peridia. Then just focus down on them one at a time before we head off into Phase 2, which is going to be the last part of this battle. Now you do, like I said earlier, you have to do this event 10 times on this tier. This is to get the ultimate unlocked. So you're going to see a lot of this tier in particular. You are going to see a lot, and you'll level with me and understand why you wish there was an auto button, because it is fun to do it once, guys. I'll freely admit it's very fun to do it once, but doing it 10 times is not so. The shine is off the apple, and this would be my 13th time doing this now. But essentially, all you have to do is spam buttons. Spam buttons. Really should use that special there from Sabine just to finish off that Night Trooper. There we go. We go up into Phase 2, and this is a mano a mano against Morgan Elsbeth. Really cool. Just like what's in the final episode of Ahsoka, to get to take out Morgan Elsbeth. So just go ahead as usual. Spam all your specials. Have a lot of fun. Get that armor shred. Get that off balance on her, and you'll find she drops very quickly. There we go. We're just going to go down into poop stance. There we go. More armor shreds, more off balance. That's what we want. Morgan Elsbeth is going to heal up far too much for my liking, and then we can finish her off. Job's a good one. Nice little animation. We steal her Mother Talzin's blade, defeat her, and our lightsaber just disappears. It just does a magic trick, goes into the world between worlds. Now I know in the Ahsoka show it does get broken and she steals it, but they I guess technicalities, they couldn't get that to work. Overall though, the GL Ahsoka show is pretty good. The event for the GL unlock is easy to do in terms of difficulty, and they've done a pretty good job with the animations. I think overall this is a world apart from what we got for Balin's Skull. So much better on this in terms of storytelling, above and beyond, I would say. However, the few gripes, I wish there was an auto button available for it, just that once we've done it once or twice, we can just hit auto and let the game play itself. Bit of a formality, that's just the way I see it. I would have liked a few more touches up here and there just to get that the Darth Vader coming in with Jedi Knight Anakin on the world between worlds and the bridge there. I think that would have made this a perfect event. One of the better Galactic Legend unlocks events, I would say. But let me know your thoughts down below. Are you happy with GL Ahsoka?